Hi, everyone. Welcome to another data journalism training. I'm Mike Reilley, your trainer once again. Today, we're going to work with Claude and ChatGPT to build some basic static and interactive charts with some homicide data. And to do that, you'll need to go to our link with all of our resources on it for our training videos, bit.ly/data videos 2. So go ahead and hit pause, open that up. You'll also be able to find this link in the description of this video if you want to open it there, as well as all these other links down below. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Claude and ChatGPT, make sure you have those open. I've got the links to them here. There's also a custom GPT called Data Visualization Expert that's in ChatGPT. We'll try that one out as well. We'll use that to see how it does in creating static and interactive charts. But before we do any of that, we need to get the data. So if you can click on this link, this little bit.ly link, it will take you to this data set, Chicago homicides by year 1990 to 2024. Just go up here in the upper left-hand corner and download the data. You can download it as an Excel file or a CSV file. You can probably even do a PDF because they usually take PDFs as well. So make sure you've got that downloaded. You can hit pause and maybe do that. And then now, if you've got it downloaded, we'll go into ChatGPT, Data Visualization Expert. Custom GPTs are kind of designed to do a specific task. In this case, create bar charts, line charts, things like that. And then Claude, which is really good at analyzing data. It's okay with charts, but we'll give it a little spin. So what we're going to do is in each one of these tools, we're going to go in and we're going to hit the plus sign and add photos or files. We're going to add a file, and it's going to be our Chicago homicides by year data. So we're going to add it there, and then we're going to go into data visualization expert and add it there. And then we'll do the last one, which is Claude, and then add it there as well. In another training video, I had tried this with Notebook LM and had kind of moderate success with it, as well as some other tools. But we're going to try these this time around and see how they do. And down below, I've given you a prompt, a sample prompt, which is right here. This is a static bar chart, or create a static bar chart with the attached file. For the title, put this in, and always put your title in quotes because it'll quote it exactly then and make that exact language the title. Otherwise, it'll make up its own title and put it on there. Oftentimes, they have typos in them. Always proofread these charts very closely. Anything built with AI, you want to fact check, make sure the data corresponds with the lines and bars you see in the charts, that something isn't messed up on the X or Y axis, or that it's missing the title or the footer, which is the source, Chicago Police Department. And then the chart, just put your name in there. So always make sure that you've done that. In fact, take this and just use it as a template and then type your name in regular case. So now I'm going to take and paste my prompt into each one of these, and we'll see what we get. So I'll start with ChatGPT, and it starts to analyze it. It'll start running. It's imported the data set. Now it's running Python. It's kind of fun sometimes to watch how it thinks through the task. Perplexity is very good at that for research. I'll drop this one into Claude, and then we'll try Data Visualization Expert. I've had hit and miss results with this one, but we'll give it a shot and see what we get. Okay. And notice I didn't uh, designate like an interactive bar chart. I'm going to just give it a static bar chart first, and then I'm going to ask it, can you recreate this chart as an interactive chart where you can roll over it and the numbers pop up. But we're just going to start with a basic static bar chart, PNG file. I could have designated it as a PNG file, but we'll see what it gives me each time. Okay. So here in ChatGPT 5.2, it gave me, a basic static bar chart. Looks to be accurate. I work with this data set all the time. It left, 2025 blank, which I'm not wild about. You can do a follow-up prompt to ask it to change that. Use blue. If it happens to use red or a color you don't want for homicides chart, you always tell it, to use a specific color. This usually defaults to blue, which is why I didn't do it. And then, it kind of gives you a little details of how it thought through it, recommended uses for it. And then I'm going to follow up with another prompt that says, can you make this chart a downloadable PNG file and also recreate it as an interactive chart with a link to it. Now, I could have put all this into the main prompt, but I try not to overload these tools. I find, when I ask it to do, 10, 11 things in the initial prompt, it sometimes gets confused and makes mistakes. But if you use, this is what's called step-by-step prompting, oftentimes it'll be able to process the information much quicker. Let's see how data visualization expert did. It did, ooh, bright orange. Wow. But again, seemed to do a pretty good job. Has a header and footer in there correctly, labeled my axes properly, and it looks like it reflected. Again, I would go through this, line by bar by bar and make sure it matches the data in my data set. But it looks, like it. Um, and this is a ping file above, so it just defaulted to it, so I can download this as a PNG file right here. So I don't have to really ask it to do it, even though I just did. So, did a really nice job with that. This is typically what you get in Claude. This is its default color, the dark blue. It always puts a border around it. I would probably go back and tell it to remove this border around the inside of the chart. I prefer the white space. The fonts are okay. The footer text down here, the credits, a little too small for my liking. I would probably tell it to punch it up a little bit. And here's the downloadable file. So I'm going to ask it if it can recreate this as an interactive chart and link to it. Can you recreate this as an interactive chart? Create a link. Sometimes if you ask it to recreate it as an interactive or a ping file, it won't give you a link. That's why I always ask it, hey, make sure, I can download this. So let me go in and ask this one. And we'll see how they do here. This is data visualization expert. I usually don't ask data visualization expert to do interactive charts. It's very good at doing, static charts. But let's see how it does. Download and view the interactive chart. Oops, gave me a download error. And I'll go over into Claude then and see how it's doing. Yeah, I don't, like I say, I don't do a lot of interactives uh, with data visualization expert. But it looks like, it gave me one here. A nice, wow, nice interactive chart. Remove the border too, which is quite nice. It's pretty good. Notice though, it made a little mistake here. It's got my credit bleeding into the label and for the x-axis. Um, can you recreate? So just keep giving it corrections. The interactive bar chart. So the footer text doesn't bleed into the x-axis label here. And sometimes you just have to correct as you go. These little edits. Be the same thing if you were working in Flourish and Data Wrapper, any of those chart creation tools, Canva, any of those. You just keep going back in and tweaking it and making it better. But this interactive is quite nice because you get the exact numbers. And as I scroll through here, these numbers match the spreadsheet. So, let's see what we get here. Um, yep, there we go. It moved the footer down a little bit lower, and we've now got an interactive chart that's usable. I hit download, and I can move it, out to my desktop and things like that, and have a nice little interactive chart then, or just link off to it. You can download it, or also give me a link to the interactive chart. And then you can link off to it if you wish. Three pretty good examples of how you can work with these tools to create static and interactive charts very quickly. Again, I prefer using Flourish, Data Wrapper, Canva, my traditional tools for using graphics or building graphics. But these, can do some really nice work, and they've improved quite a bit throughout the year 2025. A year ago, it wasn't producing, results quite as good as they are now. Keep this as an option. A lot of times it's useful just to load a data set in there and have it brainstorm. Julius AI is very good at that as well. And just, give it a data set and say, give me five different visualizations of this data, and you could upload it and it'll give you some ideas maybe of charts that you hadn't thought of before. Napkin AI does that well. MyLens AI does that very well. And those are all free tools. Julius is a nice one because it also does analysis and cleaning of the data. And you can view that tool in another training video that we've done in one of the earlier chapters. Hope you found this useful. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next video.